So Porsha Williams was on the Breakfast Club, and as a guest host because they're rotating guests like weekly. So Porsha recently came forward to say she felt attacked by Tamron Hall while she visited the set. They talked about Porsha's husband, who at the time was her then fiance, and they hadn't set a wedding date, but bought a house, and how her stepdad had a bunch of wives, and how Porsha might have been nervous with her husband
Not
cheat
her
on her.
her stepdad had a bunch of wives.
Well, he is the man is her not stepdad, father-in-law. Oh Lord,
Yeah,
father-in-law,
okay,
father-in-law,
okay,
father.
okay.
Sorry,
I thought the father-in-law only had two wives, but his father, I thought the grandfather had 30 or
Oh,
60
you're
or
right. It was the
whatever.
grandfather. That
Yeah,
was my
yeah,
bad. Whatever.
yeah,
It was a bunch of mess with
yeah.
them.
The family
And
history.
so
Yeah.
Portia felt as though that Tamron was coming down on her really too hard. And then DJ Envy chimed in as well, Martin. He said he had appeared on Tamron's show with his wife
Right,
promoting his book, and
right,
that he felt that she input her sister, that Tamron Hall input what happened to her sister, because Tamron Hall's sister was murdered in a domestic abusive
right,
relationship.
right,
And because Envy had an aggressive incident in his
right,
marriage, not necessarily being violent towards the wife, but
right.
something like that. He
Yeah,
felt
towards
that,
somebody.
yeah,
Right.
yes.
Mm.
DJ Envy felt that Timron was wrong to interject what happened to her sister into their conversation. But, his wife, set everything straight. My
Yeah,
question to you, Ma,
yeah.
is Tamron out of pocket with her questioning or on the money?
Tamron is on the money. She's 100% on the money. I've watched many Tamron Hall shows and
Mm-hmm.
interviews and so forth. Two things are going on here, okay? You got to look at in the first place, they agreed to come on the show,
Uh-huh.
okay? Second place, unless they made some agreement that certain things were off limits, then the conversation just flows as it flows,
Mm-hmm.
okay? DJ Envy and his wife are going around doing a tour selling their book.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing that prompted the whole book tour thing was DJ Envy's issues that he and his wife had due to his infidelity. Okay. And
Mm-hmm.
at least as far as I can discern, and I, knew a lot about it at the time that it was going
Mm-hmm.
on. It was something like that.
Well, the book wasn't about it
Okay, not
solely
not
about
not that.
infidelity.
I'm just saying the book tour, but what the juicy part of it was his infidelity. That's what people talked about a lot. They didn't talk about how wonderful they were. They were
Mm-hmm.
going around talking about because they had difficulties and managed to salvage their marriage.
Correct.
And well, then that's it. That's the thing. So, issues surrounding that are gonna come up. That's
Correct.
what's going to happen. And I don't think Tamron was at all equating the murder of her sister to him having an aggressive episode or so. She may have been saying that you need to watch aggression because things that you don't think or don't want to happen, it can go really bad. And you need to be careful, about aggression, and you need to manage your emotions and your anger or something
Mm-hmm.
like that. I didn't see it, but I can't imagine that she, just said, "Oh yeah, because you'll end up murdering your wife." I don't think she took it there,
No,
you
I
know.
saw it. No,
So
that's not how she
I
said
know
it.
she didn't because she's not that unreasonable. Tamron Hall is a soft interview. These people have some sensitivity because they put their business out there and they don't want to be called on it. That's all. And
Well,
well, this is how I see it.
go
And then
ahead.
and then Porsha, you got to be damn kidding me. Porsha is a walking billboard. Porsha is the same woman who sat on what's that, Housewives of Atlanta,
Mm-hmm.
and bent back and spread her legs open. I mean, she had on pants or something,
Mm-hmm.
spread her legs open, demonstrating how she told Dennis to impregnate her because he
Mm-hmm.
was a man with a business and money, and she wanted to get a baby and get married, and she was making jokes, and she was laying back. Now, come on, okay? She made it a big thing. She ran up and down the road and telling everybody. And then when
Well,
she met this next man, the same thing with him. Porsha, we've seen her grab jump on people on the TV. We've seen Porsha do this, and she's saying somebody was tough on her. You think this is a woman who can't handle a soft question that she gets from Tamron
She didn't
about a
feel
subject?
supported. She didn't feel
Please,
supported.
please.
Can I say this? What I would like to say that I've
No,
noticed. Tamron is a journalist.
of course.
She really is a journalist. Like a
She's
lot
a,
of
she's a
people,
professional,
a
absolutely.
lot of people have shows. Like we have this podcast. We're not
Right,
journalists.
absolutely,
When
absolutely.
people come and when guests come on here, we're giving them their flowers. They're here to promote their brand,
Absolutely.
and we're really giving them their flowers. That's what we're doing. We're not coming when you come on our show. You're not coming on here. They're going to be interviewed by someone who's going to give you got you questions. When you go on these other
But
shows,
that's not a got you question. Why is that a got you question? When I tell the whole world, whoever's willing to listen to me, that I'm engaged. Why is it a got you question? When I come on your show, I'm engaged. I've said it to you. I'm wearing a big engagement ring. I ask you, when is the wedding date? Now, wait a minute now. I ask you, when is the wedding date? That's not a got you question. Because here's the answer. Because people expect a wedding date if you have an engagement ring on.
right.
Here's the answer. We haven't set a date yet.
Right.
What's her name? Porsha came up with all that because the hell she didn't have a date because the man hadn't set one yet. And she was waiting.
Well, we don't know. We don't know what they were doing because they are married.
You saying we don't know, but what I'm saying to you is that all she had to do was say, well, we haven't decided on a date yet. What's all the sensitivity about it, and why you offended because somebody asked you when the date is? That's a normal question.
No, but okay. Listen,
that's not a got you question.
I think
that's not a got you question.
No, it's not.
That's a normal question.
It's fine, Ma.
It's within the parameters of their conversation.
Ma, no, listen. I agree that Tamron is supposed to ask all of those questions, but she is not. It is going to be a environment when you come on certain shows, like if you go on Drink Champs, if you go on whatever, you go on that show, and it's going to be more of you talking to your friends as opposed to, oh, look, we're going to really interview you. And
are you going to tell me that
questions?
That's a hard question. When my wedding going to be?
But okay,
I don't agree with you. I'm not going with that. If I'm a woman who's been running up and down the road, bragging about all these men I got,
the way that Tamron, listen, Porsha goes, Porsha goes, I'm from the South. And Tamron's like, I'm from the South too. And then and Porsha goes, oh, we're buying a house. Oh, you bought your house before the wedding. That's not a Southern thing. Like,
because she knew Porsha, she was calling BS on Porsha because
I got it. But
Porsha was lying.
Because Tamron is a journalist. She's a journalist.
And that too.
If Porsha,
if
Porsha would go on The View, she may get questions like that.
Well, of course,
but if you go on a more relaxed environment, if you go on a show where people have
Porsha knew where she was going,
telling stories about
got it, and Porsha knew where she was going. Porsha knew where she was going.
I got it. I'm totally fine with that.
Porsha didn't like it because Porsha didn't have an answer for her at the time. That's all. This is simple thing. Okay. Porsha didn't have a wedding date, and Porsha was feeling sensitive about it.
My point was, and we missed my point, is that a lot of these celebrities that go on these shows, they think that everybody is their best friend and everybody is holding them up to this high standard instead of, look, my job, I'm a journalist. I'm going to ask you questions that everybody wants to know the answer to. Just like DJ Envy, who has been around for many years.
You don't think that Porsha should have known that Tamron was going to ask her these things that, are
what about DJ Envy? What about DJ Envy, ma?
DJ Envy opened himself up for that. What did she?
I agree with you.
That Tamron was going to say.
Ma, you and I. What I'm saying to you is that too many of them think that everybody is their friend and that
Oh,
they're
well,
going to
maybe
get
they do.
softball
It never dawned on me that they would think that they weren't going to get, these are very obvious questions.
Okay, well,
These are
hey,
very obvious.
they don't
If
want to
I
deal with
go on
it.
a show, if my claim to fame is I'm pushing a book talking about my infidelity or talking about my dynamic between me and my wife, don't I think you're going to ask me questions about that? What is it? What is it? What do
Well,
they
that
think
wasn't
people are
the
going to
issue. The
ask?
one was when Tamron brought up her sister. That really
Well,
kind of
whatever issue,
bothered
but
him.
it was the issue surrounding his behavior.
It
Okay,
was.
and what do they think people are going to ask them about? Just what do they think the questions are going to be? Oh, Porsha, where you get your shoes? What the hell they think people are going to ask him? Oh, DJ Envy. Oh, how's it working with Charlemagne? You came on the show with your wife talking about your relationship.
Well, I mean, if
See,
Charlemagne was
all
asking
these
questions,
people,
imagine what he would ask.
what happened?
But some of these people are too
But
friendly with each other.
maybe they do think that. I don't know what they think, but if they do, they're being very foolish. They're
Mas,
being very naive. I think Tamron is soft because
I
she,
like
so
Tamron.
she let,
Yeah.
I like Tamron. Tamron is very soft because Porsha was saying, you don't date your husband? Oh, and she knows that's not what Tamron meant because Tamron said, when I get engaged, yeah, I got engaged and then we got married. Oh, you don't date? You don't date your husband? What does that have to do with the wedding date? You can be dating all the way through, but that has nothing to do with. I ask you, when do you have a wedding date? Either yes or no, or you just don't want to tell
So
me.
Ma, so you
Tamron
think
was soft. She was
Tamron was on the money
not hard. She
with her
was very
question?
soft on the money.
Okay. Oh wow, Ma. Oh wow.
1,000%, 1,000%. I think Tamron was right on the money. And like I said, I think Tamron was even a little soft because she let Porsha get away with this. Oh, don't you date? Don't you date? Sort of a little, misdirect the question. And she knew that that's not what Tamron was going for. And Tamron let it go. Tamron just said, oh, yeah, okay, we still date. She just sort of let that go. And then when she mentioned about, oh, he's Nigerian. What you mean he's Nigerian? Plenty of people are married to Nigerians, and either you practice polygamy or you don't. Either you believe in that or you don't. No matter what it has been historically.
Well, it's illegal here, Ma, and
Well, of
I think
course,
that was her
I
point.
understand it's illegal here, but that doesn't mean that she won't go over there. You don't even know who knows where she is now. She
She's
jumped up
here
and
she's
but
here in New York
well, yeah,
now.
is she working? Is she back to work? Because she at one point she had quit all her
Well,
jobs.
she's working, man. She's in New York.
Okay, well,
And
good.
she's
I'm
and
glad
she said that she was an American and she
Yeah,
doesn't believe
good.
in
Yeah,
that.
I
And
heard
neither
everything
does
she
her
I heard
husband.
everything she said, but let's just see what she does. She also didn't come up with a date because she was waiting
They're
for
married.
I know
They
now. I know now, but I mean at that time. And that was the whole problem. Trust me when I tell you, because if a woman has that date, she's convinced that it's a legitimate date, she's
okay.
going to
Well,
proudly share the date.
she's married now. She's married.
Okay.
I just think
Okay,
that
well,
Portia's too
then, I
much.
mean, if you're going to take that stance, then the whole conversation is moot. I mean, I understand she's married now. And I feel that, Tamron, I think Tamron did a good job. She could have been just a little bit more persistent, you know. So that's how I feel. And I noticed DJ Envy and Porsha are people who, are coming on the show, with, little bit shade going on, a little bit of shadiness in their background, so all of a sudden they're so sensitive, no, Tamron was very appropriate with them.
Okay, so let's move on, Ma. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe and check out full episodes of the Bamgboshe Happy Hour podcast, streaming on most platforms.